How's it going, guys? My name's Brad. I'm going to show you how to make an antique end table. Alright, to start off, you would need a power screwdriver, a tape measure and marker, and screws. A chop saw, a table saw, and of course, old barnwood to make it antique. The first step of the build would be to measure out your leg height. I'm going to be using 26 inches, and as you can see, I used a heavy piece of lumber just to give that stability to the end table. Chop saw set up on the sturdy base. You can go ahead and align the mark on the wood with the saw blade, and then you can start cutting. And please keep all your fingers, toes, and small dogs back away from the saw. Unfortunately, my saw blade was a little bit too small, so I had to flip over the wood and repeat the process again. So now the first side of the leg is cut. We're going to flip it over the other side and cut off all the old worn marks on it, so each side has a flat base to it. You don't necessarily have to do this, but the one side of my board was unlevel, and for it to sit properly on a hard ground, it needed to be cut. As you can see, both sides of the legs are nice and flat now. So the next part of the step would be to split the beam into two, so we have two different legs for the table. Using the table saw, rip the beam into two equally sided legs. Once again, keep in mind to keep all your fingers back, and just make sure you have a firm grip on it and let the wood fall off the back when the blade goes the whole way through. And this is what you should get, 4 perfectly shaped flat legs. Alrighty, the next step would be to measure and cut the tabletop. I'm using a nice flat plank that once it's cut will make a nice sturdy tabletop. Back on the table saw, we're going to be cutting the tabletop into two, just so we can put that extra piece of wood in to create a nice accent piece to the tabletop. Once we finish cutting this, we should have all of our material cut and ready for install. We should have legs, the tabletop, and the supports for the whole end table. Next, you can start screwing together the supports to the legs. I started with the outer longer supports. They should look something like this when you have them screwed together properly. Finish up screwing the supports to the legs by attaching the two smaller pieces to the legs, forming like a box. The final step of our build today is to attach the tabletop to the leg system. I'm going to be showing this in a speed version just so you guys can see how to attach each one separately. First, start on the right side, screw those ones in, and then work through the middle and then onto the final side, screwing each piece in separately and lining it up properly. And there you guys have it, a nice antique end table. Sure to win over any mom's heart.